Hello friends, welcome to my video about APM solutions. My name is Himanshu Jain and we will be discussing about what is APM solution, evolution of APM solution and high level architecture of APM solution. Bit of a background about me. I have around 10 years of experience in performance engineering and APM consulting. I have delivered various training both in-house and on-site. I've extensively worked on all industry leading APM solutions like Dynatrace, Appdynamics and New Lake. Okay. By definition, APM stands for Application Performance Management, and it is used to monitor and manage performance and availability of your software application. Software application can be a desktop application, it can be a mobile app, or it can be a web application. It includes monitoring of your software code, application dependencies, network monitoring, infrastructure monitoring, databases, web performance monitoring, and log monitoring. Let's talk about APM evolution. APM has a long history of evolution. Before even APM were commercialized, there were these tiny softwares native with language which were used to monitor limited metrics in application. Era before 2000 was dedicated to machine health metrics. Then focus came on application with intent to capture end-to-end transaction and JVM statistics. User experience was next. Between 2010 to 2015, attention was paid to capture end user experience. And now it is all about AI and cloud monitoring. Most of the APM comes with two types of architecture. So one architecture is on-premise and one architecture is SaaS model of APM. So on-premise model is when your company provides infrastructure for the additional component which are behind your firewall. So there is a small probe which is installed in all the application server, web server and database server, and they will report it back to APM solution. And web user and mobile user are also sending back some data through beacons which comes through your firewall and is integrated with APM solution. So APM keep tracks of that browser data and then it tries to correlate it with the backend data. So it will show you a complete transaction revolving around that specific user activity. So the importance of this architecture is that you get a hold of your own data. Your company owns the data, but it comes with a additional challenge that you have to manage your own solution. You have to manage redundancy, you have to manage reliability of the APM solution cluster which you deploy, as well as you have to plan high availability of your APM solution. So major difference between a SaaS model and on-premise model is that in SaaS model, APM solution is managed by APM company. And in most of the company, the data which flows from application server, web server, database server to APM solution has to go through firewall. In this case, web user data and mobile user data goes directly into a APM solution which is somewhere in cloud using beacons. So which company prefer SaaS and which company prefer on-premise? So SaaS model is perfect for smaller companies or medium companies where they don't have much of the restrictive policy on data. But in some sectors which are very restrictive, like financial sectors, they prefer on-premise model. Now comes a question, how it can be said that application is performant and how does APM measures it? So there are four components which APM keeps track of. First is user experience. APM creates a baseline for both end user response time and server response time. If it see any outlier transaction deviating from baseline, that is highlighted as a problematic transaction. For a stable application, error rate should be as close to zero or as minimum as possible. If it goes higher than baseline, APM flags it as red. The second area of concern is application traffic. It can fluctuate a lot. You cannot control end user activities, especially on public facing interfaces. There can be high usage and sudden drop, but even in that circumstances, application KPI should not deviate from baseline. Resource consumption of servers in your infrastructure stack should have a typical usage pattern. It should not cross defined thresholds at any given point of time. If it is, then application performance can be impacted. And last comes reliable application dependencies, which means interrelated components should adhere to thresholds. All internal and external dependencies should have a stable response time KPI. So that's how your APM measures application performance. By now, you might have a rough idea of how APM works, but let's try to see what problem APM solves. Classic example of it can be an application slowness. Your support team gets a call from a customer saying application is slow. IT team can quickly visualize from APM what layer is forcing application to respond slow. Can be any of the shown components. Just to give you an idea about market leading APM solutions, here is a study of Gartner for 2019. It says that Dynatrace is leading the market, followed by Appdynamics, then New Relic. That's all for this video. I hope you might have gained some more clarity on APM